Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to our Sunday soul time, Dharma circle, whatever you want to call it. It's a time in the soul relaunch where we just chill out every Sunday. Sometimes at 11 a.m., sometimes at 8. I'm just doing some experimenting here with what works better for you guys. Or, the people that typically show up, like what is it, what times are best for you, in the morning or in the evening. 8 a.m. or 8 p.m., I don't know, it just feels good for me on a Sunday, but let me know your thoughts. What we do, because I know there's some new people that have joined, what we do are, like on Sundays, are typically the days that we talk about the soul. So I'm a soul care mindset coach. With the Soul Relaunch, I'm the founder of the Soul Relaunch, and my purpose and my journey and my path my job is to help moms heal from codependency, take their power back so that they can follow what lights them up and take action and follow what excites them without the mom guilt. That's literally what I'm finding. That's my place. So Sundays, back to that, are typically for the soul. We do soul care work on Sundays, and then on Wednesdays, we do mindset work on Wednesdays. We've been moving, and so I have taken a little break for the last 2 or 3 weeks of seeing what works, what doesn't, plus my energy kind of had to be conserved for moving. And so now we're getting back into it. We're in the new house, but there's still some things that are at the old house. Darla, is that you? I was going to call you when I'm done here because I'll call you when I'm done because there's still stuff over there. But we're over here and we've been staying the night here since Thursday night. So I'm super excited about that. And then tonight, we weren't going to do a soul time thing, but then I was like, I have stuff I need to share. And I really, really want to just hang out with you guys. You guys know that I love hanging out with you guys. I love hanging out with whoever is on this path of awakening and they're finding their purpose and their most authentic self. This is the place for you if that's what you've experienced. And so, and also with the Purpose Quest, I created a workshop for a part of my signature coaching program, and we're going to continue working on that piece by piece, which is what we've been doing the last couple of weeks, or the last time. So last week, I know we covered the reasons or the ways to know how our purpose is revealed to us a lot of times is through a natural gift that we were born with, or a need that we filled, or a need for other people around us that we filled, or we had a breakthrough, had a breakdown. So those are typically the 4 ways that your purpose is really revealed. And it's not really your purpose being revealed. We all have the same purpose. We're all here to bring the planet back to love, back to a place of wholeness. And so really it's how you can do your dharma and your purpose and your what is that thing that you have. So that is what we're going to discover here through this series, okay, of the purpose quest, okay. But then we have the mindset part, and this is where my 2 specialties really meet, and it's a little different than other programs because it's not about in the beginning, it's not about your soul really, because not really your soul, or it's not around finding your purpose. It's about finding you. You will not discover your dharma if you don't know who you are. That's a prerequisite of having to get clear on what it is you're bringing to the world. You have to hammer down on who it is you are, your core values, what it is you enjoy doing, what your dominant energy is. And so we were going to talk about the doshas, okay, originally. You guys might have saw that. We were going to talk about the doshas, which is the Ayurvedic energetic, the energy that we're in. So Vata, Pitta, or Kapha is typically the energies we all have, but at certain times of our life, we are higher in another one and lower in another one. So Vata energy is air energy, creativity, intellectual stuff, right? And then the pitta is the motivation and the action and actually doing things, right? Leaders, lawyer, entrepreneurs, people that are leaders have a lot of pitta energy, motivational speakers. And then we have kapha, which is the earth energy, the grounded energy. I always say Darla has a lot of kapha energy in this time of her life because she's like the mother presence and energy of all of the places she goes. She's just that grounding, energetic, that grounding energy that we need behind us. And she's all about community. And so we were going to talk about the doshas. However, I changed it. We're not going to talk all about the doshas tonight, but that is going to be coming up. It's very important to know. But the reason why I changed it was because there is a whole thing, like there's things we need to do before stepping in and seeing what it's like a personality test. By the way, I created it through my forums. Like I created a quiz with the doshas. And so you guys, I'll send you to there at the end of this. Okay. To where it's free. You just log on. I don't know, Megan, if you've ever done, hi, Megan Coors. Darla, you've done my questionnaires. I don't know if Megan, if you have, so you probably don't have to go through all the stuff, but I created a quiz. It's going to help you know like what dosha energy you're primarily working in right now. So it's really helpful because it gives you direction on where it is to go next. And when you have this kapha energy, it's like, kapha is like rest and rejuvenation. Pitta is like action and going. And then the air is like the creating the ideas. And it goes into the chakras. We could go all into that, but we're not going to do that. Okay. We're going to talk about first what I want to talk about too. I was going to do this next week, but I want to talk about our health really quickly. I don't know why, but like Spirit earlier was like, we need to talk about health here because I know some people are always, not necessarily like a lot of women in this group, but I'm just saying, you guys know the person who's always sick, right? They're always sick. There's always something wrong. And when they're sick, you guys know how it is. When we're sick, we can't think of other stuff. Like we can't place our focus anywhere else because we're sick. So guess what I discovered the other day, and this is so true. Our health, like taking care of our health, the reason our health is there to keep us healthy and wholesome and flowing is so that we can live out our purpose. Literally, that is why we have health. Is so then we feel good enough to carry out and to raise our vibration high enough to be able to be a light worker, helping people or whatever you do with your energy. It's all with the energy. Just whoever's in your space walks away with something they did not have before. That is how I am defining what light work is. And we're going to do that next week. But anyway, your health. So, I'm not sure why, like I said earlier, all this just came into me when I had a whole different thing I wanted to talk about. So that's just like how spirit works, right? That's how our higher self is. It's like, no, you need to do this. So if you are one that has a lot of health problems, not just saying things bad about that, but I want to challenge you to start looking at those health problems as your body telling you something. Like you're off balance in some way, shape, or form, or there's a thought that you keep thinking that is causing this dis-ease in your body. And because until you get your health taken care of, it's going to be so hard and difficult for you to create that abundant life that we're all wanting to create. We're wanting to create an abundant life. We're wanting to live out our purpose. We want to be of an impact. We want to have meaning in our life. We want to leave a legacy. There's so many things that we desire. But then our ego self, when we're sick, it's just like, okay, it's not for me then. I'm not supposed to save the world. I'm not supposed to, have a purpose. I'm supposed to just live mundane-like and mediocre, and that's what it is. And if you believe that, that's perfectly fine, but that's not true. So I wanted to add that your health is literally tied to your purpose. It's to keep you going. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to light some incense really quick to clear the energy out. But what we're going to do tonight is I have this higher self meditation or guided. It's a really short, exercise that I'm going to start doing in the program for, the Soul Relaunch program, towards in the middle right now where we're at with my syllabus that I'm creating is this meditation. It's kind of it's a guided meditation, half hypnosis, you get into a trance, and then I'm going to ask you some questions Well, first, you're going to tap into your higher self. So last week, whoever wasn't able to watch that last week, to where we kind of, we met our spirit team through our chakras, where I just started bringing them in with each chakra of like what resonates with you, like just to have you guys and all of us to clear the clutter of that, of rising up and being able to access our higher self. And now, when we met our spirit team, by the way, if I say higher self, I use higher self and spirit team interchangeably, just if you haven't noticed yet. Your spirit team, if you haven't watched that yet, I kind of suggest to go back and watch that last week, but here's a little summary. Your spirit team can be archangels, angels, past loved ones, spirit guides, like that actually like have names. By the way, they don't have to have a name. Ascended masters, trees, I think we talked about, right? Trees, elementals, like fairies, like whatever it is, like otherworldly beings, that's your spirit team. They literally are here. Their purpose is to guide you and support you on your mission. Like that is what they're here to do, is to be of support. And so we go through all that last week. We met our spirit guides, or met our higher self and know how to connect to her. But now we're literally going to listen to her tonight. Okay. We're going to ask her questions, and the first thing that comes up for you, I want you to write it down. And I put the question, or like, they're not questions, I guess, but they're like sentence starters, and then you have to fill in the rest. But I want you to either, you can print that out, that'd be great if you can, or write in a journal. Okay. I want you to have a pen and a paper. That is like necessity. Please have a pen and paper handy in the next, we'll say the next 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes. Go get a piece of paper. We'll say 5 to 10 minutes, because this is literally going to be your higher self finishing those questions, or finishing those for you. And if you've ever done this before, let me know in the comments. Have you ever had like a conversation with your spirit team, or like your higher self? Have you ever, like, do you know when she's coming through when you're channeling it? Because you're going to learn how to channel. That's what we're doing. We're channeling information. And last week I talked about this, that when we cut off and detach from others' opinions, when we cut off from advice, okay, even advice, you guys, we even have to cut off from that. Any type of outside influence, bring it in, like cutting all of that off and getting present. And what happens is you start to get these shitload of information. Like I've had to keep, you guys know this, I'm repeating myself right now, because you guys, hi Jennifer, sister, Sarah. Okay, cool. Sarah and Jennifer, you guys, we're moved in to the new house. There's still some stuff at the other house, but I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay. It's nearing. Let me get back to my life. So back to the higher self. So that is how you channel, and your voice. So when you channel spirit or channel your higher self, whatever your belief is, it sounds like you. Okay. Like, so if you've never really gotten into channeling or studied it, it is there's people, even myself, I thought it had to sound differently. I'm like, that sounds like me. Like, is that my higher self? I mean, is that my spirit guide? Like, is that what it's supposed to sound like? Like, and these are legit, like, good questions. Like, you have to ask questions. Don't ever pretend like you know what you're doing. That's not how you find your purpose. Yes, Jennifer, I am so ready for a coffee with you. You don't even know, like, how much I am, like, needing coffee with Jennifer. So I'm so happy you're on here. This is going to help me too. So channeling, you guys are channeling even when you don't think about it. Jennifer's channeling when she creates, Megan, you're channeling at work, or when you're in like, you went to school to be an HR, like when you're at work, you are channeling. But sometimes we're not, so hopefully you'll know after this when you're channeling. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. But first, another thing I wanted to say, there's just a couple things here. So number one, the first thing, in order to find your purpose, okay. And I hate saying that. Okay. Recognizing you guys are already living your purpose, your superpower. Okay. Or the way that you're going to do it. You have to prioritize it. I'm starting out with this. The reason that I push on having a soul care practice or spiritual practice or self-care practice or self-love practice or whatever the fuck it is, you guys, we have to have that, because guess what? We have things called life responsibilities. We have things called jobs. We have things called friends having, drama in their life. We have bills to pay. We have drama in our life. We have people around us that are not, on the same vibrational frequency as us, and they're not awake like we are. Which that's another thing I'm going to really talk a lot about coming up, is like when you're around people who love you and you're going through this, getting rid of stuff that doesn't serve you, how can you keep those people in your life while still rising? Okay. So anyway, you have to prioritize it. You have to put it in your calendar. Like, that's why I do these for the last 2 years. I've literally shown up like this every weekend on Sundays, at least I try to, or every other weekend, to have that consistency. You can sit down and journal once, even if you did it at once a month consistently, you guys. It's not even the frequency. It is consistency. You can do it once a month. You can do it every 2 weeks. But what it is sitting down with yourself and cutting off advice and opinions and judgments and other beliefs and views, and just shutting those off and getting present and getting centered. It's a muscle. And if you only do it every now and then, and, I don't need to do that, I'm good, because that's how I am sometimes. Like, I don't need to sit with myself because I'm like good. But then I start to be not good. Okay. Seriously, that's what happens. You will not know your dharma is not going to come to you if you do not know who you are. It just will not. That is a prerequisite to really getting clear about what it is you came here to do, is you have to know who you are. And the way to do that, or a good way to start doing that, is you have to let go of what you thought you have to let go of what you think your life should look like. You have to let that go. If you are holding on to this ideal life, okay, like for me, I always wanted to be married, okay? And I would be like, I have 2 kids by 2 different dads. Nobody's going to want to marry me. Like, all my friends were getting married. Like, I literally was depressed about it for years. Like, I hated it. I hated that I wasn't married yet. And then as I started doing this work, I realized marriage just never was a priority for me. And that was okay. Okay. So that's what I want you to do. Like, look at how your life is right now for what it is. All right. And then what is it you're telling, like, what do you think you have to get to? Like, you think there's that societal expectation to where you have to, have a home by 40, or you need to be married by 30 is what I used to tell myself. Or whatever it is, you have to let those go. Okay. And so, number 1, you have to schedule in time to sit with yourself. And so you do that by putting it on your calendar or doing time blocks. All right. So like, or make it to be like when a certain show comes on. Like, if there's something that you always do and you're like, you want to change that habit, do something instead to give you that same level of endorphins or oxytocin or whatever, feel good hormones. We'll get more into that later, but you're just literally like creating a new habit on top of another one, because we're creating feelings with our habits, you guys. So like in recovery, what addicts, okay, I don't like to use labels, but I'm one, or, I called myself that, so whatever. But what we're primarily doing when we start to take pills, or when we're like, ooh, this feels great, I'm going to keep doing this. It's a feeling. It's not the thing. It's not the substance. Okay. It's not that. It is the feeling. And so when you find out that you can manipulate your feelings on your own through your energy. You guys, this is why I'm a fucking nutcase about this. Like, you guys, I am a bit dramatic, right? I can be pretty intense when it comes to this stuff. You guys know I am, but that's who I am, and that's fine. Like, I have a job to do. I'm not worried about what people think, but like, when I figured that out, I'm like, oh my God, it's the feeling. It's the thoughts that I'm thinking when I'm doing the thing and talking bad to myself, whatever it is, but you can create that feeling on your own, okay? And that's what you'll learn here in this space. So, 2 ways to do this: time block, I told you, and the other one is to create a consistent spiritual practice or soul practice. Use the terms that resonate with you, okay? And then 2, I've already kind of went over this about, do you know yourself? Do you know who you are? Like, we don't always know fully who we are. I don't really believe that we ever really know, like, oh, like, you know, in stone, this is who we are, all, like, whatever. No, we're always discovering more, but it's really about, do you know yourself enough to shift your direction of focus onto holding space for other people? Or, and this is what I've had to do, if I'm not okay with myself, the whole reason why I canceled the workshop a couple weekends ago. I was not okay energetically. I had this stuff going on. I had so much going in my head. And in that moment, I'm like, is this fear or is this love? Am I doing this of love for myself? Because there was nothing I was really fearing besides like not enough people being there, but I still had made a commitment. At the end of the day though, I felt so tired. Like I had to take my healer hat off, and that was okay. I had to not beat myself up all the time about, like, I had to be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And it wasn't rash. Like, I actually spent a couple hours before just thinking, and it was bothering me. My intuition or whatever it was like, just don't do it because you're not going to be able to show up. So anyway, once you know where you're at, once you fill your well up, then you can shift your focus to helping other people and being there for other people. Because if you're not okay, you can't be that presence that, you know, of force and everything, right? That high energy. And so then I talked about health earlier, that the whole reason for health, the whole reason people are like, lose weight, take care of your health. I mean, besides, you know, wanting to feel better, but it's also so you can focus on on living your purpose and living in your authenticity is health. That's what health is. So if you're sick, you cannot, and I know some of you heard this before when I said it, but when you're sick, you can't focus on other stuff. And when I say sick, I'm talking about addiction. That's a sickness, right? That's a disease. I'm talking about diabetes even. I'm talking about everything, you guys. Anything that makes you disconnect from your light or disconnect from your, like, you can't focus on anything else. And so keep that in mind the next time, because I'm telling you guys, this was huge for me when I figured this out. And also when I read it in this book, I'm like, oh my, that's so fucking true. Like, and I've always been like, what's the point? What's the point of going on a diet? Like, I'm fine the way I am. Like, why do I got to eat better? Like, I'm totally, you guys know exercise is like, like I am not an exerciser at all. If that's a word, I don't know. But so this shifted because now I have a new core value. Like, okay, it's because my motivation behind that core value is that I want to show up in my authenticity and help other people get back to their truth in the most, my power, right? And to take my power back, okay? And so, all right, so let me know in the comments. Let me see here who's all here. Hi, Luke. Okay. So, what else we're going to do? Oh, do you guys have, I'm going to pull a card real quick, but then we'll do this little meditation, and you guys have a paper and pen, okay? I put the graphic in the event, but you guys can just save that to your phone later. But these are just little phrases that that your higher self here in a minute is going to finish for you. And you have to just, the first thing that comes to your mind, write it down, okay? The very first thing. Don't question it, okay? And it might not make sense. This is so cliche, isn't it, Darla? Everybody says this. Like, it might not make sense, but it does. Like, sorry, I don't like to say that because I just don't. I don't know why. But just write it down, okay? And Luke, I don't want to hear what your answers are. I'm scared, I think, if you do this. He's a very awesome person, very interesting, but I can only imagine. All right, I'm going to pull really quickly from this deck right here, just for all of us. I'm not going to pull each, but it's Work Your Light Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell. She was the first spiritual teacher that I ever learned the term light worker. And if you've never heard of that term before, let me know in the comments, please. Have you ever heard the term light worker? And let me know in the comments. Okay, here we go. What is it? What is it that our guides, just as a collective, want us to know here? Aw. Okay. Sisterhood of the Rose. Or Brotherhood of the Rose, in your case, Luke. Whatever it is. Sisterhood of the Rose. Beauty and Devotion. Priestess. Mystic and Teacher. And these cards are like so freaking pretty. I love them so much. And how interesting is it that we are on a call about our purpose and our dharma and discovering all of this stuff, and then we get the Sisterhood of the Rose. we are all in this together. And also, like, it's like this is it. This is the work. This is it, of beauty and devotion, of just devoting your life, devoting yourself to this, to showing up in your power. Okay. Okay. How are you messaging me then if you're on? I don't know. Anyway, okay. All right, Luke, if you can't, I don't know what that said. Just sent it away. So priestess, mystic, and teacher, okay, is what it is. And so whatever comes to you with that, that's what I want you guys to know. You're exercising your intuition right now, your higher self, you're going to talk to her. So that's exactly it. The sisterhood of the rose. We are all in a sisterhood. All of us are connected. And of course, there's more I could say on that, but I'm not going to. I really want to get through this tonight. I want to do this in like 30 minutes. What time is it? Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, 8:24. Okay. We're not doing too bad. There's one more thing I think I want to share with you real quick. Actually, no, we're going to do this later. I'm going to do this next week. Okay. So I want you guys to go ahead. What we're going to do is we're going to talk with our higher self. Not really talk with her, but listen. I just want you guys to see if you hear or if you notice something different, or like if you feel like you're vibrating. That's usually something that happens with me when I raise my vibration so high that I'm like literally working from my higher self. I'm in flow. And so just getting quiet and go to like an undistracted place. If you're outside, that would be awesome if you can go outside, just because the energy, you know how it goes. It's just better outside. All right, let me bring this up here real quick. By the way, if you want to follow along with some of the stuff that I have in my course or in my program, I got a lot of it out of multiple books. I read books all the time, but Discovering Your Dharma by Sahara Rose. It's a Vedic, it's a process through Eric Vedic, techniques to find your purpose. And I love the Ayurvedic health system. Like, I just love it. I love it so much. Like, I want to become a practitioner of it, because it's the most holistic health or habit practices that you could that I've found that I'm like, hey, I actually want to pay attention to my health now with that. So go ahead and get in a quiet place. If you can't do it right now, it's okay. Put in earbuds. If you bought my self-healing kit, then you have earbuds. That's what I always do, is my earbuds. Sorry, I'm trying to get this to come up. Okay. So go ahead and take a deep breath. You guys start at the beginning. Just roll your neck. You're going to just relax your muscles. Taking a deep breath. And I want you guys and we're going to hold it at the top here in just a minute. I'm going to find my place. And then, so go ahead and just take a deep breath in. And if you don't know how to breathe yet, just have your belly go out. And then exhale, it goes out. And I want you to connect with your breath. So like when you inhale, see that breath or a light coming in your nose or your mouth, going down into your stomach. And then as you exhale, it all comes out. And you can think of it like negative energy coming out or whatever comes to you. I really just want you to pay attention to what comes up for you. Okay. Okay. So here we go. Let me get over here to this. And then take another deep breath in. On the next breath, when you guys inhale, I want you to hold it at the top for 4 seconds. Okay. And so inhale and then hold and then exhale. And so just holding that kind of calms your nervous system down as much as you can. Okay. Go ahead and take another deep breath in. Let's hold it at the top again. Okay, and then have your feet on the floor if you can do that outside. And then what I want you to do, I want you to go ahead and visualize. We're just going to bring that more relaxation coming down. So just visualize that light or whatever it is that helps you relax, and going down your chakras, or going down, like actually releasing your expectations, letting your shoulders drop, let your jaw, part, relax your jaw, going down your arms and just seeing all of this white glittery light going down to your fingertips. And you might actually feel like tingles in your fingers. That's energy. If you feel the tingling in the ends of your fingertips, and then going down your chest, your upper back, middle back, lower back, going down your stomach, going down your thighs, relax your legs, and then going to your feet, and then grounding in, okay? And then have your pen and paper. And I want you, oh, sorry, he just let his dog out, you guys. Oh my gosh. And so we're going to allow our higher self to channel through. Where did that go? We're going to allow it to channel through without controlling it. Like, that's the whole point. Like, you want to like surrender. Okay. So just surrendering of any control. This is completely out of your hands. And then I want you to witness anything that comes into thought. And anyone that's doing this for the first time, or you haven't done it a lot, if a thought comes up, come back to your breath or come back to my voice, okay? And just being in this place right here, out of the past, out of, 5 seconds ago, just right here. And I want you to remember that your spirit talks through your voice, like it sounds like your voice, okay? So even if it seems like you're just thinking these things, it's your higher self. Could be your higher self. I want you'll discern between the two. So you're in fact channeling. So just go with the first thing that comes along. Okay, so grabbing that, I want you to also, when you breathe in again, feel it expand. And we're just going to create a little space here with light. So then that'll hold space for us some more. But as you breathe in, just see the breath expand, like within your lungs, like you're expanding out. And as you exhale, it expands some more. And then as you inhale, you can see it as a bright light, like surrounding all of your body. And as you inhale, it gets brighter. And as you exhale, it expands. And we'll just go out about a foot, like in an auric field. So you're just holding light right here is what we're doing. And you're creating a barrier. You are creating protection, if you want to think of it that way, but also just to hold in this amount and level of light that's coming in a safe place. You're all safe here, completely safe. This is a private group. So whatever it is, just to let that go a little bit more. And then I'd like you to say in your mind or out loud, say, I'd like to speak to the part of me that knows. And you can say, I'd like to speak to the part of me that knows. Calling in the part of me that knows. So I'd like to speak to the part of me that knows, and I'm calling in the part of me that knows. And then just continue to breathe. And then saying, I'm open to receive. I'm open to receive. I'm open to receive. And if you need to go up through your chakras a little bit, so into your root chakra, letting go of the fear of the unknowing, and embracing trust and safety and security, and moving up to the sacral, letting go of the shame, any guilt, just letting that go right now. And then going up to the solar plexus, letting go of doubt, letting go of any doubt that you are not capable of doing whatever it is that you're doing, or even this. Just letting that doubt go and replacing it with curiosity of just to seek information about yourself and whoever else comes up. This child's screaming like crazy. And then up to your heart, letting go of hate and regret and grudges. Letting go, going up to the soul or the throat, letting go of lies and dishonesty, a lack of communication, if anyone, criticism, rejection. And embracing truth, self-expression, healthy communication, moving up to the third eye, letting go of illusions, letting go of stories, and up to the crown, seeing it open up, letting go of your limiting beliefs, anything that's keeping you small, letting go of separateness, embracing oneness, and now connecting with your higher self. You can see her, him, whatever it is, and see that light, like connecting with your higher self, okay? And continue to breathe. That's how energy goes. And so you can either open your eyes when I'm saying these, or because you can open your eyes. It's not going to take you out of a trance. I just relaxed you guys. And so now open your eyes, and and when I read these, I want you to write down the first thing that comes to mind, okay? So right now, I wish I was ... Say, right now, I wish I was ... And just write the first thing that comes to mind, even if it has nothing to do with your purpose or nothing about anyone else, just whatever comes to mind, okay? And then the next one, the time I feel in my highest joy is... The time I feel in my highest joy is... The first thing that came to mind. Write it down. If I could make anything, it would be ... And just finish that. If I could make anything, it would be what? I find myself constantly telling people about ... I find myself constantly telling people about whatever it is you tell people about. The first thing. The next one, I love to help people with ... I love to help people with whatever it is for you. The next one, I'd love to spend a month just what? I'd love to spend a month just what? Just to what? Or whatever it is you like to do for a month. The first thing that comes to mind. And the next one is, I fear ... So I fear whatever comes up after that. What is your higher self telling you? What's that first thing that comes up when you say, I fear? And then the next one is, I want to leave this world more what? Could be a way of being, or what you want to change in the world. Just how do you want... I want to leave this world more, with more what? And then the last one is, I am ready to ... What are you ready to do? I am ready to... And some of these might not come to you right away. It's okay. I probably should have said that in the beginning, but you can always come back to this and just always doing this. And so, and I went through that quickly on purpose. I was waiting for someone to say, you're going too fast, on purpose, because you're not supposed to think about them. You're just supposed to write. So, and if this is the first time you're doing this, then it's called automatic writing. Well, it's part of an automatic writing. Automatic writing is also channeling things, but which I think is an amazing, like, fabulous tool for gaining clarity and feeling not cluttered and stuck anymore. But anyway, what came up for you? Like, what surprised you? Did anything surprise you? How did that make you feel? Did any feelings come up when I said the question? So, for example, the time I feel in my highest joy is, and then the memory that you thought of, the image, maybe you thought of an image for my clairvoyance. Maybe you had an image come in. What was that image? Maybe you had a song come in your mind. Like, whatever came in your mind just now when I said those things, pay attention to those. Or, did your vibration rise? Did you think of a memory and you started to feel bad? Or whatever, feel guilty again. So, or when I said, I love to help people with, what came up? Did a phrase come up there? If you said, I can't help anybody with anything, that you write that down too. That's your ego. And that we need to know that this is all information, all of it. And so it's you tapping into yourself instead of going and seeking advice or what other people think. And this was something hard with coaching. I remember feeling this way when I first started coaching, and I didn't know how to really do it. I was learning how to do it. And I would be like, I don't want to tell them, like, they know what's best for them. Like, I don't want to tell them what to do. Like, I don't want to just give advice. And that's what coaching does. Coaching pulls it out of you with questions. And it's not always pretty, okay? It's not. It's actually hard. But you have all the answers within you. It just takes somebody asking the right questions to get it out of you, and then discovering where healing needs to happen in order for you to feel good about that. And so she says in this, perhaps the message was loud and clear, or perhaps you'll need to come back to this. Many are surprised by their answers, and that is awesome. You have just reached a new level of awareness. And I want you to really soak that in. You just reached a new level of awareness to where you literally are aware that you're able to seek answers and in your intuitive abilities, like the way you take in information. It's just beautiful, and I love it so much. And so let's see if there's anything else I need to share with you. Okay. All right. Do you guys have any questions at all? Let me know. Where is the... Okay, maybe I was supposed to hit that. Hold on a minute. I don't know. But let me know if you guys have any questions. Also, let me know if... the quiz. If you're interested and you want to take the quiz that kind of helps you with your dosha, or know what your personality, what's really happening here, and what is the point of knowing all that? Just the point isn't just to know, okay? The point isn't just to be oh, I'm Veda energy, or I'm Pitta energy, or I'm Kapha, and stop there. I hope that that's kind of what I was implying, so I didn't tell you why. So the reason why you want to know what is unique to you and what more energy you carry is that helps you get really specific and hone in on the thing that you bring to the table. To really get super clear around what it is that only you can do. So knowing the energy that you primarily operate in at this point in your life, okay, this whole thing, your purpose could have been different 10 years ago, or your journey, your path to Dharma could be a whole different thing 10 years ago. You're different than you were 10 years ago. And most of you in here are experiencing an awakening, or you have, we all are. People that have experienced an awakening or a very rock bottom moment, or now they're experiencing, we are a very, very unique and special group of people that not everyone understands. And so if you feel misunderstood because you've had an awakening recently, or something happened to shake up your world, and now you're just you're just this new person, and people are telling you that, okay, you're new, you're not how you used to be. Sometimes people can be mad about that. You're not how you used to be. I used to get this all the time. And take that as a compliment, okay? Take that as something, that as a sign that, okay, this is working. And so I just felt like sharing that and saying an awakening and discovering who you are is not for everybody, okay? So the fact that you're here in this group and you're actually doing the work, that says something. There's a reason that there's a reason that you're here doing this work. It's not by accident, okay? So that is how you channel, okay? That is how you channel. That is how you can channel your higher self, your spirit guides, or whatever it is that you believe in, for information. And it's super fun, right? It's super fun. You can do it all the time. It's like a muscle, right? It's the muscle you gotta, and then when you start to share your story, okay, this is in my program too, that I basically have a whole module on how to do a live, or how to share your story on a live or YouTube or in front of people, to publicly say, this is what happened for me. This is where I was, and this is where I'm at now. And what happened right in that was literally something you signed up for before you came to Earth, okay? And that's my belief. Your soul signed up for all of the challenges that you're experiencing right now. And so instead of seeing them from the 3D, everything's happening to me. Why does my life suck? I do everything for good. I should have good karma going on. By the way, if anybody would like to really dive into karma deeper than than anyone probably ever has, let's do it. Because I've been studying it, and I want to talk about karma. Not right now, but I mean, if anyone's interested in that. But once you are, that's one thing with how to share your story is where that's what I want to do. You guys know that I want to help people share their story and then take their power back, because that's the only way, as far as I'm concerned, that is the most powerful fucking way for anybody to take their power back, is by sharing what's happened to them and how they rose from it. I mean, honestly, and I might get people that are like, no, I like, maybe some people don't like to do lives. They don't like to be in front of people. They don't like people. And so therefore, but that's holding them back, because here's the thing. If you're a healer or a light worker and you don't like people, or you think everyone's out to get you, or you just can't trust them because of the inner trauma that's happened. I do want to say this real quick, because I'm not invalidating anyone's trauma, whatever, at all, not whatsoever. I'm here to help people get out of their own way, and that is by saying things other people won't, okay, in your life. That's the whole point. It's the whole point I got a coach, was because I knew my family wasn't going to tell me what I needed to hear, because they all loved me. They want me to feel good, right? Hence where I learned how to be a people pleaser, okay? So it's because of that. Like, that's why, is because I had to hire a coach, because there's no way I would have gotten here with my family telling me what was going on. And the therapeutic tools, and the energy work, like, it's life-changing. And so back to the point about prioritizing this is also what this group is for, is to keep you accountable to do your work every week, or like, let me know what it is you're working on, and I will make sure to check in with you. But like with my one-on-one clients, that's what I do. I offer 24/7. Well, they don't do it at night, but like anytime they're having a moment or something that they're starting to back into old ways, they message me, okay? Or they send me an audio thing or whatever and be like, this is happening. Like, what do I do right now? Because they know that how transformation happens is by responding differently to our shit. Okay. We have to respond differently, not the same that we have, because we're not getting the results we want, obviously. So we have to make new decisions, and your friends and your family they're not trained to do that. And I'm not putting anyone down. It's just a fact. This is why when you do work with a coach, make sure they're certified. Make sure that make sure that they have spent their years even. Honestly, I would want years. If they're charging you money, you want to know that, hey, you know what you're doing. You've been trained. You're not just going to tell me advice like my friends and family do. Okay. Because, and this is why I feel an overly strong calling to educate on what coaching is, life coaching and business coaching, because I didn't even know. I didn't even understand it until the way I do now, until the last 2 months. Like, life coaching and business coaching, any coaching that helps people get to a goal, is probably the most, it is the most service, the best, the most transformational opportunity that anyone could have. It just blows my mind that I didn't know about it before. Because if I had, I know I would be, but I can't think like that, right? I can't. But the reason why I'm doing this is because I've hired coaches and I've hired teachers. I've taken courses. I've gotten certified. I've spent thousands of dollars. I'm not going to say it too loud, but I've spent thousands of dollars invested in me. This is the difference, you guys. If you trip about spending $12.99 on a meditation app every month, I used to do this. I used to think, why am I going to spend $12.99 on an app when I can just teach myself? I can just get on YouTube. Who else has said that, right? I really seriously want to know if anyone has a problem with anything that they've been like, oh, that costs money, or like another one was Audible. Okay, Audible and Amazon Kindle are my tops, right? You guys know that. They are in my hand all the time. I don't listen to the radio anymore unless I kind of am feeling this type of way. But anyway, you guys, it's just crazy how we think that $16 is too much. $9.99 a month. Like, I'm not gonna do it. I gotta pay my bills. if you think that way, your money situation is not going to change. And so this is probably one of the first things that I did that started to really change my relationship with money, was I started to say, I am worth $12.99 a month. I am worth $16. If it helps me in my day or helps me feel better and raises my vibe, I will spend $100 a month on whatever. Darla is a perfect example too. Darla pays, she gets the session ones. And every time she's came to my house or came and we've done it, she's given me money for the next one. Or that is investing in herself. And yes, we are very good friends now, but when we're in a coaching session, I really do try to keep it focused. Okay. I really do try my best because she's paying, but that is her investing in herself. Like, we are so reluctant to spend money for things we can't see. This is another big one. One, if you're not going to pay it, $12.99 a month for you, you're going to stay where you are. You just are. And then two, our worth, right? Like our worth. If we don't think we're worth that, or if we're just like, I'm going to complain about not feeling good, but I'm not going to do anything about it. But that's our programming, you guys. It's not your fault, really. It's not. If you think it's not. It's the programming. It's not you. It's the world. But it's crazy though, how that goes. But when I subscribed to Headspace, the app, and I finally paid that $12.99, okay, my life changed because I had consistency. That is really what it is. It's consistency. And if you don't want to pay for things you can't see, if you've been burned in the past, let's work on that in a coaching session. That's a limiting belief. It's a limiting belief to say, I can't see it, so I'm not going to buy it. Or I can't, that is something that's keeping you in the material, in the 3D. Okay. So anyway, all right. Oh, I chimed right on time again. Hi, Tammy. Oh yes, let's do karma. Were you here for the meditation, or the little passive meditation, really what it was? I'm going to make a little clip about it because it's really good. So we are investigating. Oh, investing, you mean? Yes, we are investing in ourselves. We are investing in, because at the end of the day, why not? Why not? Oh, here's another thing that came to me. Another way to know your purpose or what it is you want is this. Listen, what are you willing to feel pain for? What are you willing to feel pain? Just a little bit of pain. I'll tell you, let me explain my pain. My pain has been to not be financially abundant right now, making a lot of money or making enough money. Really, if I didn't have David, I don't know what I would do right now. But I'm willing to sacrifice. I have that pain to get to get everything done, to do this. Also, it doesn't take me not working for someone else. That's not even it. It's the freedom. Freedom is a high value for me. I have to have that in my work. That's why, 9 to 5 does not work for me. I have to have freedom, or I have to have flexibility, right? That's two things I have to have, or at least the flexibility. Or else I'm not happy and it drains me. And so anyway, I know we're going off to different things, but I just really wanted to say that about investing in yourself, or believing something that you can't see, it's not worth it. Or if you think that, or whatever it is, whatever your ego's saying, check in with your higher self. I just showed you how to do it. Everyone can do that. Another thing is, when you're meditating, once you are in that relaxed state, this is how I do hypnosis. Hypnosis is getting into a trance. Yes, most of the time people have their eyes closed, okay? And I watch their eyelids, I watch their body movements, because that's how I know when I say something and their body has a physical reaction that there's something there energetically that needs to be cleared. You just learned my secret. But that's what it is. Not a secret. It's just how it's part of the training, but you are just capable of doing so much. You guys are you have no idea. You do know now. You do have an idea of how powerful you are. But once you truly start stepping into that, now you will step back and you will lose your power, and you're still fucking human, and you're still going to make mistakes. Okay. This does not mean you won't. However, next week when I go over all these, okay, I'm not going to do it right now because I got to get off of here. But these, if you follow all of these, like go back to this every time that you start to fall off, or you do this higher self meditation we just did, like gets crazy. Synchronicities. Tammy, you're on here. I don't even need to tell you, or Megan, or Darla, none three of you. Hi Christina, if you're still on here. But anyway, okay guys, I think I'm gonna go. Oh, but look who's hanging out with me tonight. Look, my little meditating dwarf. This one, remember I got these like last year, and they were like, since going through everything, you guys, of the house, it was great. I loved it. I love to see all the things I've accumulated over the last 3 years of my awakening. Because if you would have told me, I would have been like, hey, look at my little meditating gnome. With and my dragon, she goes with me everywhere. This is my amethyst. Named her Amethyst. Remember her, Darla? I got her at the last event that I did, because dragons keep coming in my life. The word dragon, a real dragon, like pictures, dragons, and so I had to get this, and so now, and it's a resin thing. Oh, love it. Sounds like, oh, Darla, you have no idea. I mean, you do have an idea. Anyone else that's on here that, like, no fucking train, no highway. And like what you just said, Darla, David said the same thing last night. We're sitting out here, besides the kids, and they're like screaming, and our neighbors are pretty cool. Like, I don't know what people are talking about with this court. This court is not that bad. Like, some people are like, oh, that's the worst court out there. No, we love our neighbors. Like, Izzy and I pick up trash. Like, it is what it is. But it's so quiet here. And I'll tell you what, you never know. You never realize what things really make you when you shift or change or something, and you're like, oh my goodness, that took away my peace. It did. The train took away my peace. The freaking drama with the neighbors, the highway with the freaking semis every time I try to do a meditation or something, there'd always be this noise. And last night it was like really quiet. Another perk, Darla, when you come here, anybody, Megan, Tammy, if you're here, I know you're in North Carolina, Luke, or whoever, you can see the moon right out from my window, our bedroom window. I could see the whole full moon. I didn't have to go outside. I could put my crystals up there. Like, it was just great, and I love it. So, all right, guys, I'm sorry. I know I'm just kind of like, but please try that higher self. Like, do this anytime you want. And if you're just creating a spiritual practice for the first time, start out slow and just meditate. You don't even need to do anything. Just meditate. Get present. And then a thought comes up, come back to your breath. A thought comes up, come back to, maybe I sometimes meditate with my dragon. Like, and I'll feel her little like ridges. A thought starts to go, come back to this. Like, it's literally, you're training your mind, which is what I do on Wednesdays. You're going to learn how to take control of your mind is what I love to do. To take your power back from your mind is the ultimate form of empowerment and healing that anyone can do. Everyone can do this. I don't care if you say you have ADHD, because I do a little bit, okay? I used to like speed. That was like my drug of choice. So my thoughts were like, blah, 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 blah. If I can do this, fucking anyone can do this. I mean, it's just, like I said earlier, when you see a good movie, when you see a really good movie or something, you just experience something so like deep and whatever. And then you go tell people, they're like, oh my God, you got to go watch this movie. Oh my God. I just loved it. Like, you guys know what I mean? Like, maybe you did it with something else where you tell somebody something and you're so excited about it. And then they're like, oh, okay. And you're like, you just burst your bubble of like, cause they're not as excited about it. That's how I am about life coaching. That's how I am about coaching. And that's how I am about all of this, because it changed my fucking life. And so I'm going to keep doing that. But anyway, all right, guys, I love all of you. Thanks for hanging out. I hope, I want to hear what you get okay, with these. I want to know. Just let me know one of them. What did you get with it? Or something you don't understand. I'll make another thread or something. Yes, Megan, I love my dragon. Okay, guys, I love you. Guys, have a good night. I will see you later on Wednesday at 7 p.m. We're going to do it Wednesdays at 7. Okay? Bye.